really want her to get up and make some leave. Step out the house fresh when I go and get the bag. Popping bottles, popping tags. It's just somebody's fat boy swag. Swag, 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 swag. It's just somebody's fat boy swag. Swag, 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 swag. It's just somebody's fat boy swag. It's just somebody's fat boy swag. It's just somebody's fat boy swag. Swag, 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 swag. It's just somebody's fat boy swag. Swag, 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 swag. It's just somebody's fat boy swag.
Hey social media fans, it's your boy UgnB, and welcome back to the UgnB channel where we drop dope new content every single Thursday on our growing YouTube channel. I am your host UgnB, and this week we are celebrating Black Restaurant Week. So we are here at the Acadian Coast here in Houston, Texas, and we're going to be celebrating. We're going to get some gems, some good food from our boy Kenneth Hamilton, Chef Kenneth Hamilton in the building, y'all. If you're not sure what Black Restaurant Week is, Black Restaurant Week basically presents a week-long campaign highlighting Black-owned culinary businesses. And y'all, we have a treat for you. We got some food that's coming in from Africa, some African-American food, some Caribbean cuisine, y'all. So it's going to be lit. Y'all know I love riding around eating. Y'all know that's what I do. Y'all been watching the show. If you haven't been watching the show, I love to ride around and eat. So I'm excited that I'm gonna actually get to eat some Chef Kenneth's food up in here, okay? It's gonna be lit, okay? So we cannot wait for you guys to tune in and check it out. So come on with us as we go ahead and take a look at the behind the scenes that's going on here at the cafe, all right? So y'all.
She just swag, swag. Woo, woo. She just swag. Woo, woo. She just.
What's up, world? This is Kenneth Hamilton. I'm the executive chef, director of operations, and co-owner of Acadian Cost. So today we're here making fricot au redfish. So fricot, it translates to French in feast. So what that means is that whenever the Acadians before they were excommunicated out of Great Britain, they would have a feast. And a lot of their feasts and cuisines created a lot of stews, with a lot of different soups. That's where we get gumbo from. Gumbo is an African word for soup. So Acadians also had that same kind of feel with that. And right now we're just cutting up some potatoes to put into our fricot. So we're debuting lunch, just starting tomorrow, debuting lunch for our redfish ragu. And redfish ragu would be the same kind of step that you create a ratatouille. That's my favorite movie. Ratatouille is basically, I love Ratatouille. Ratatouille actually depicts what chefs look like and what food look like and when you have a passion for food. And so, whenever you're making stews, you definitely want to cut everything into uniform shapes. Because when you look at a stew, all of the fruit and the vegetables, all of the vegetables are uniform with one another. Even the meat that's in there. And so since we're doing a redfish, which is basically a meaty kind of fish that can withstand being cooked in high temperatures or stewed, they will still hold its value and they will still hold its integrity to where it won't be broken down in the sauce and get lost. You don't want to get lost in the sauce with that one. So that's what we're doing basically with the potatoes right now. And the potatoes would be a thickening agent for that ratatouille. So mine, normally a fricot would consist of carrots, potatoes, celery. Mine is going to have a little bit of carrots, potatoes, celery, but also some eggplant, some garlic, some white pepper, to make it bold, because, the Acadians were excommunicated. And they came into Spanish Louisiana, which is like here in the South, they end up becoming Cajuns. And so Cajuns have this lively tradition. That's where we get all this music from. all the battle of the bands from. This is where everything happens from. And so now we're just gonna add all this to that same little sauce that we have it. And this is gonna make everything a little bit more French inspired. Let's go ahead and add this into that. We'll see you right in a minute. So this is ragu. And this is not the ragu we see on TV that's R-A-G-U. This is R-A-G-O-U-T. So it looks like ragout, but this is a French term for stew. So normally in French, they normally make a beef ragu, chicken ragu. If we're here at Acadian Coast, we're gonna do more of a redfish ragu. Now redfish is a super meaty fish that can withstand high temperatures and high heat without being over flaky like our salmon or our snapper or grouper for that matter. The redfish is going to be seared on both ends, and then it's going to be cooked in the stew and then served just as is. No sides, no anything for that matter is going to be added to that. So this is what's going to make that hearty dish. This is basically peasant dishes, you know. And then if you think about French, in the French colonization, peasant dishes like beef bourguignon, these dishes are now hearty dishes that run at a restaurant for about $45 a plate. But this is what art looks like. These people trekked and made their way to their own civilization because they said, no, we're not going back into slavery. No, we're not going back into being treated like, you know, we don't matter. So all of this stuff right here just kind of came normal for them, so they made their own way. So they had a choice to either be part of Great Britain and go into slavery or be excommunicated. And they chose to be excommunicated. You know, some of them did stay because they were married into different families or anything like that. They were married to other Englishmen. But some did leave and they went down to Spanish Louisiana. So that's where we get our Cajun descent from. Creole is different. That's more French inspired. Cajun would be more Acadian inspired. Those that travel back up to Canada, they lived in Acadia, they lived in Quebec, they lived in New Brunswick. They got a lot of that same little feel that's in there. So this is just some things that you need to understand here at Acadian Coast. It's the culture that makes the difference. It's the food. Food is culture. Culture is livelihood. And livelihood is basically what I love to cook. I love to cook a story. I love to cook the history. I love to cook passion. So that's where that's the reason why, you know, I made this what it is. So thank you guys so much. I'm glad to be able to be a part of this and share this story of my people, your people, you know, that big melting pot here in Houston, Texas, that all of these people came and come here at 2929 Navigation. And funny thing about Navigation Boulevard back in the day used to be the only way to come through Texas and the only way to leave through Texas. It was the main road through here. We had 45 that was starting out. We didn't have 290. We didn't have the 610 loop. We didn't have the Beltway 8 loop. All of that stuff. So, you know, that's where everything came and left from. So, all of this history is here, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Hey social media fans, it's your boy UgnB, and I told y'all we are here celebrating Black Restaurant Week, and I have my brilliant co-stars here, Mr.
Kenneth Hamilton. I'm the executive chef, director of operations and co-owner here at Acadian Coast.
All right, and we have Miss.
Chef Aranza Martinez.
All right, and y'all, we are gonna get the opportunity to taste this. This is gonna be coming out this week here at the restaurant, and so I get a chance to eat it first, y'all. So let's dive in. Let's go ahead and taste it. I can't wait.
Yeah, go ahead, man. It's all you. I didn't prepare this for yourself, so you dig in. I'm just waiting on the reaction. I'm
Okay.
gonna try
So
to
while I'm eating, can you go ahead and describe everything that you're doing with this meal?
So what he's about to indulge in right now will be the redfish ragu. Ragu, on the menu it looks like R-A-G-O-U-T. It looks like ragout, but that's the proper way to spell ragu. It's a French dish that means stew. So it has potatoes, eggplant, celery, carrots, chunky tomatoes, and we have a fish stock that we roast together. And what we do, we seal the redfish first. And once we seal the redfish to almost cooked, we add the ragu into it to where it fully cooks it to get that seafood flavor that's in there. And then we garnish it with a little bit of microgreens and some olive oil on top, and then we mount it with butter to bring that whole umami flavor that's in the palate. That's basically what he's experiencing.
This is like Christmas in my mouth, y'all. So I don't want to keep like eating on it and stuff, because if I keep eating,
Man, go ahead. That's all you, man. I'm telling you.
y'all know on the UgnB show, I probably told y'all before, I'm not a big fish eater. I'm not a big fish eater, but this is amazing. It don't even taste fishy.
See, that's the thing. And that's what I like, that kind of thing. Like when people say I'm not a big fish eater, but they indulge in it. People who say they're not a big grit eater and they eat our shrimp and grits. You know, we have smoked Gouda shrimp and grits, and people indulge in it. I don't like grits, but I'll eat this, and they send it back in the plate clean. You know, that's the kind of reaction I want.
And
My
y'all
sister
see
did
that.
that.
I'm over here for the clean plate. I know they said that they wanted to get a little taste of it, but y'all, I might eat this up. Y'all, this is so good. Seriously. Oh my goodness.
All right, I'm gonna dig in. Go ahead, Chef. I'm gonna dig in once you get some. And
goodness.
yes, this is great. And literally, her and I had this discussion last night, and this came from brain to plate. We have never worked on this at all. We just literally talked about it. We visualized it, and then we put it on the plate. And that right there is an anointing in itself about where, like, this how the actual. I'm gonna take a big piece. I'm pretty proud about this. Seeing how he eat it makes me think about, man, I need to take this.
Yeah, Executive Chef Kenneth Hamilton. If you can you tell us how you got into the chef game?
So it started back when I became a cook. I was a server and a cook at Denny's. It's at Denny's on the east side of Houston. And before that, even both my cousins had lost their house in a fire that happened during a storm, and so they stayed with me, and I was cooking for them all the time. But as I was cooking for them, you know, I always tried. They were basically my guinea pigs, and I did a lot of things when I cooked whatever it is. I mean, I remember I made Dorito nachos. I made what's that? A lot of hamburger helper, but I kind of tweaked my own way into it. So it's one of those things where it's just like I kind of experiment with it, but they trusted me to let them do it, you know. So as I transcended to that and on to college, I started to. I remember in our earlier talks, I was bodybuilding because I was real skinny growing up. My dad was a slim man; he's still a slim man. I'm bigger than him now, and I'm in my 30s, and he's in his late 60s. So. I wanted to be a bigger guy, stature-wise, and so I started cooking and eating. I had to eat clean, eat healthy, and I made all my own food. And my brother-in-law, who was already in this realm, he said, "Man, just stop playing with the gym. Just go and get in here and dig in with us." I said, "All right." So I finally went there, and I showed up to a cooking job in a 3-piece suit. And he's like, the chef came out. He was like, "Well, what you here for?" I said, "I'm here to be a line cook." He said, "Well, I mean, you dressed the part, but let us know you clean." You know, he had a wide vision. He had wisdom. He knows I was clean and stuff like that. So he gave me a shot. And as I took that, as I went on to that journey, I ended up cooking at different places and cooking for different stars and cooking for different artists and cooking different competitions. And there was just one of the things that just took off. And I was like, you know, I can do this no matter what. I don't care how I feel, how I look. You know, my heart goes into this plate. My emotions go into this plate. And I had a chef, sous chef, who trained me. She said, "You need to be in a happy mood every day." I said, "I don't need my food tasting, angrily." She used another word. It's a B word. I'm not gonna use that word. She said, "I don't need that word. I don't need that tasting like that, because people gotta eat that. So if they eat your emotions and it tastes like that, I don't want you cooking on my line." And so they let me know that I have to always get myself ready. You know, wear different hats, wear different cycles as I'm cooking. And that's basically how I walked into that. And I just started cooking for everybody. Every time we had a family reunion, "Hey, look, let me cook for you." Every time I had to get together, "Hey, let me cook." Hey, every time I meet new friends, "Hey, let me cook for you." And it was, not only was it honing my skills, but it was building my confidence. And as it built my confidence, I'm already going to different restaurants, meeting different places. And then when me and my wife met, me and Nisi met, we kind of like, she was already into the comedic world, and I was already into my up and coming phase. And she said, cook for all my comedian friends. Cool. And I did it. And then it just kind of transcended from there. It just took off. And I ended up meeting, the guys who do Acadian Coast, and came into a partnership with them. And they said, hey, we want you not only to be our chef, but be the face. And we're going to, be some equity, get some equity in the company. I'm all for it. And this is how I started off.
Oh, this is perfect, and I'm so glad that we're friends now. Cause you can cook for me any day. Because as y'all can see, I eat. Okay, y'all know y'all watch me on the show. I'll be riding around eating all the time. Okay, so I might be doing a little mukbang to this. Okay, but speaking of you coming into the Acadian Coast. Okay, so this is Black Restaurant Week. Mm-hmm. So tell us, for those that may not know or that may have a different perception of Acadian Coast,
right?
This is a Black-owned restaurant.
Right. Mm-hmm. So Houston Black Restaurant Week is to basically accentuate and highlight Black-owned companies or restaurants here in Houston, Beaumont, and San Antonio area, to have people come out and try it, just to give some notoriety to it. And before Acadian Coast we opened up back in October of last year. And before I came on as part of the owner, we were basically white owned, and that was some issues I ran into stepping into the new realm of Black owned restaurants.
We just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, we want to clear that up, because I've already dealt with that with the media, ABC 13, Houston Community College.
But you got your exclusive here on the UgnB show.
You're going to have all that. I'm going to leave no stone unturned with that. So I talked to my partner. I said, hey, look, check this out. Black Restaurant Week is coming up. I want to be a part of it. I'm a young chef. A lot of the people I cook for are either Hispanic, Caucasian, Indian, whatever. I cook for a lot of chefs. Well-known chefs here. They have James Beard Awards, James Beard nominated. And so I want my own space, my own shop. And, him and I, we joke a lot. He's a 63-year-old man. His name is Bruce Gingrich. He ran a lot of pharmacies here in the United States. He said, we joke, he's like, nah, I want this to be white owned. And I was like, oh, you're funny. He said, nah, why would I not give a young man who's ambitious as I am, a Black man, a shot that I had in my young 20s, 30s, and stuff like that. So he's like a dad to me. So I said, okay, thank you for that. He said, you're the face of the Acadian Coast. I wanted you to be there because I want to turn this over to you in the future. But I want you to understand where my vision is, and since you already have a vision, I'm going to take it from you. I'm going to give it to you, and you can take off from there. Perfect. Cool. So I submitted my application March 31st to Houston Black Restaurant Week, and then people started calling my staff in my restaurant saying, are you guys Black owned? Are you guys Black owned? And they didn't know because of the secret contract Bruce and I worked out. And remember, this is all confidential work. I didn't say that on the true confidential part, but this is all confidential. And so they're like, we don't know, but as far as I know, our owner is white. And so they started going on social media, blasting me. I had just did Up to the Minute with Todd Duplantis on HCC TV. And it was one of the things that was like, wait a minute, because I took myself off social media to focus on the scope of what I got going on. And so they're just angry about everything. They're just mad. And I said, okay, my marketing team got up to it. How do you want to spin this? I'm like, look, if they need to see financials, they can see financials. If they want to see contracts, they can see contracts. I'll show them whatever I need to show them. But it's a shame that people that look like me are questioning what I want to do, because basically these solid investors that these Black-owned restaurants have don't come from people that look like me and you, And so that's, I don't care if it's 5%, I don't care if it's 1%, I don't care if it's 45%. If it's anything of percent, it's Black owned. But thanks to that, thanks to the grace of God, thanks to all that being put out, I made the biggest sale of that day on April 1st to start a restaurant week. April 1st, I had the record sales thanks to that day. All because of people told me no. Isaiah Carey came here. I had other business owners in the surrounding area in East Downtown come to support. I had the AKA sorority come and support. And nobody said nothing but great reviews about this company. So it's one of those things, and I apologize for getting a little, not even emotional, just getting a little passionate about it, because I got a chance to compete in the realm with people that look like me, not my counterparts, but they look like me, and they shunned me away way before I even had a chance to say, this is what I got going on. But I'm glad I'm here. Thank you, Black Houston Restaurant Week, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, my marketing team, Tanya. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Jeff, my general manager who works side by side with me. Thank you, everyone, for giving me that shot and not saying, no, we're not going to do this, but we're going to move forward in this.
So speaking of that, speaking of your sous chef here, we definitely want to get a little bit more feedback from you. So I want to show or showcase how you have extended your olive branch to other people and helped them to be successful and things like that. So I want to talk a little bit about you and kind of how you fit into this whole puzzle.
Well, as I explained earlier, me and Chef go way back. I think from the moment we met, we clicked, and that came to translate into the further projects that he was working on, that he invited me to work on. And we had some bumps in the road with some of the projects in the works, but regardless of the matter, we always stuck by each other and supported each other. And when he offered me the job here, to me about my situation, obviously I'm headed into my third trimester soon, and he was just like, look, I know where you're at, but I know that you're about it, and I was about it. And I was like, man, I'm waiting for this. I'm waiting for it. And it motivated even more. A part of me just said, I have to do it. If I don't do it, I don't know what I'm going to do. So essentially, he invited me on board, and since then, it's been a blessing. Truly, yeah.
So what are you going to do with this opportunity, this platform that you have?
Well, hopefully bring a beautiful new face into the world. I have the support of him, the support of my boyfriend Christian, and I couldn't be happier. Essentially, I want to grow as a chef. Obviously now I have that label as a chef. Before I was a line cook, I'm still in that transition. But hopefully, with the experience and with the time I put in,
Awesome. Do you see yourself being an executive chef like your sensei here?
yes.
Okay.
That's right. Call that thing out for what it is.
Yeah. So tell us, what does it take to become an executive chef? For those that might not understand.
Man, so and I stand by this personal opinion because of a lot of the chefs that I met. One thing I always tell people about being a chef is that line cooks are worried about making the best dish. Chefs worry about managing businesses. And a lot of people come around and perpetrate this title as a chef because they cook all this food. Yes, I make a lot of food in my lifetime, but most of the time, and my sous chef can attest to this, today before we even shot this, I was doing nothing but admin work because I'm running a business. It's my brain that makes it. My brain that goes from here to the recipe book to this. And so I have to get like-minded people to kind of balance everything out for me. So therefore, I don't lose my mind. So I say, hey, you know what I'm thinking. I want this to be this. I want this to say this. Make sure this layer, you're going to get this flavor and that flavor. And once it's presented like this, it's going to look like this. I need contrast here. I need complex here. And this is it. All right, I got it, chef. Boom, that's the dish.
All right.
And that's how it works. But now a lot of people just think that I'm supposed to be, yes, I'm the captain. Yes, I run it. But I can't do it without help. And we all need help.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that makes this dish that you just tried, this right here.
And it was amazing, y'all. So we learned something whenever we were behind the scenes and we were cooking up some things. And so you actually shared with us that you are lactose intolerant.
Yes.
So how do you be a lactose intolerant chef whenever you're cooking food that has dairy in it? How do you do that?
Right. And so, like I shared earlier, it's one of the things where I know how things supposed to taste. And I told them about whenever you go buy furniture, whether it's from IKEA, Down Furniture, or Amazon, they send you an instruction booklet. And in that instruction booklet, we kind of like tossed it out, especially men. I know me, I'm like, I know what I'm doing, I got to figure it out. And we spend the next 6 hours on building the desk.
Yeah. With extra pieces.
With extra pieces. And they put the extra pieces to stop making us look like a fool. But what they do is, what's the whole point of that instruction booklet is that person put their mind and their mind onto words in a book, and they give it to the person to basically say, hey, you're gonna embody me to make what I made. And so when I'm making a dish that has dairy in it, because I can't eat milk, I can't drink milk, I can't eat ice cream, all the flavors and wonders of the world. I used to do it as a kid, but I'm an adult now and it don't work no more. So I let them taste it, and I'm like, this is what you're gonna taste in the beginning, in the middle, and then the finish. And so my instructions of what they're supposed to taste is the instruction booklet, and I have to tell it to them so they know whenever they make it, this is what they're supposed to feel, because I gave them the instruction booklet. And so that's what happens after that.
Wow. But isn't that amazing how you can paint a picture? Like I said, this food that he just created was it's artistry. And have to trust the sous chef sometimes to go ahead and taste it and tell them what it actually tastes like. So the wonderful masterpiece that you create, you don't even really get a chance to enjoy it sometimes.
Sometimes I don't. I really don't. And that goes with strawberries too. I'm allergic to strawberries. Like I'm definitely allergic to strawberries. I remember me and my mom used to eat strawberries like with sugar, whipped cream, or whatever. One day I ate it and I just couldn't breathe no more, and it took me out. And then I was like, and back in the day, they were like, okay, let's see if he's really allergic. Eat it again. And then I ate it again, and I was like, okay. Then I broke out in hives, and then I just couldn't. I realized strawberries was my mood. Same thing with cucumbers. Cucumbers give me indigestion. It's not an allergy, but it just makes me discomfort.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I'm gonna stay away from a lot of things like that. So raw cucumbers, strawberries, cooked or whatever sort, I can't eat. And then milk, heavy cream. I can eat butter, cheese I can eat, but just raw milk or ice cream I can't eat.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, I'm all right with that.
Wow, this is incredible. So you guys have heard it here first on the UgnB show, and if you are in the Houston area, please stop by the Acadian Coast, located at 2929 Navigation Boulevard, Suite 200 here in Houston, Texas. So is there anything else that you want to share with us before we go ahead and release?
I mean, let's see. Well, I've already shared with you guys about the Black Houston Restaurant Week. We're opening for lunch starting tomorrow, so come and check us out from 11 to 3 for our lunch. 3 to 6 is our happy hour. We have dinner service. Also, our brunch is amazing, starting from 10 to 3 on Sundays. And then our crawfish program.
Yes.
Our crawfish program is amazing. I mean, you can look on our Instagram at Acadian Coast. You can look on our Facebook at Acadian Coast. We have the best crawfish here in East Downtown. And if you think I'm lying, come on down here and check it out. Your first pound will be on me if you think I'm lying. And I know if you're lying, because if you're doing, that means that it's good.
And y'all, I'm telling y'all, it is absolutely amazing. It is so beautiful here. So while the weather is good, because y'all know we only get a couple of days of good weather here in Houston.
Amen to
a couple
that.
of weeks ago it was the freeze, and now next week is probably going to be,
the rain, and then tomorrow's going to be hot.
Yeah, it's going to be a heat wave. So right now the weather is good, and they have a beautiful, fabulous patio out here. We can come out here and enjoy and just do a little kickback, all right?
Yeah, and also don't forget, I'm glad you said about patio. We do live music every night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. Here, live music right here. And also Sunday brunch, we do live music. And Sunday night, we do live music. So yeah, we do that. I'm glad you said that.
Awesome. Well, you guys heard it again here first on the UgnB show. We drop dope new content every single Thursday on our growing YouTube channel. Y'all come over here and check out my friends here at 2929 Navigation Boulevard here in Houston, Texas, in Suite 200 at Acadian Coast. And you have it here on the UgnB show. So we'll see you later.
Just wanna rub my belly while we watching TV. I really want her to get up and make some leave. Step out the house fresh when I go and get the bag. Popping bottles, popping tags. It's just somebody's fat boy swag.